Hello my friends and welcome back to another beautifully polygonal day here on my procedurally generated community Minecraft server. Yes indeedy do folks, I just wrapped up the little run through of everything we've built to this point and I am still highly motivated to continue with the build. As you can see from the map behind me, we are here at Orange Town. Boop, right there. I don't want to hit it because that'll pop us out. This is what Orange Town looks like. And down around the corner, we have Heliopolis, where I will be working today. Last time, I gave you the tour of the entire facility. I believe I gave you the tour of everything. I think we showed you everything. Everything there is to really see, right? Except, we didn't really get started on anything. So last time we talked about how I'm going to build a villager breeder over here at Heliopolis. And that is on the plan for today. I went ahead with Xiphus and put a wall around the area so we can kind of frame where the wall is going to be there. He needs some picks. Okay, so I'll be sure to help him out with that. And in a few moments, Golden Buttle will probably pop on, and so will Stalker, and so will Dula. So maybe we'll find something for all of us to do together. But I'm going to head on over to see Xiphus and see what he needs my help with, and get started on the villager trading area, which is going to be a Bizaar looking area. It's going to be a Bizaar in front of a abandoned temple next to a desert village, right? So before I start putting all the villagers into Villager Breeder to get the Infinite Villager Breeder going, I got to make sure they have some place to go once they've been bred up. And I want to make sure I have like 4 good librarians, 4 good weapons trades, 4 good tool trades, and 4 good armor trades, right? Because that way we don't have to worry too much about going out and getting diamonds for all of our stuff. You know, we can just kind of go pick something up with some emeralds, right? And maybe put a couple farmers out there too, like have them vending carrots and potatoes and watermelons and pumpkins, and that way we'll be able to trade everything up we need all in one little spot there whenever we need something, right? All right, so let me head on over there and get started on that project, and I'll pick it up from where we last left off. Welcome back, my friends. As you can see, Xiphus is over here putting down some cactus around the outer edge of the wall that we just put in. It's not completely fortified as this one is, but you know, it's just a placeholder for what we're working on. Ooh, sorry about that. So we have to put torches up still every so often, but actually that's an external block, so we need to put external blocks every 3rd or 4th cactus, and you know, we got to put some stairs around the top there still. So that's still stuff we need to do. Also, I am planning on, obviously, there's a lot to do here still. I'm planning on putting the trading areas along this wall over here, this wall that's outside, and whoops, and the other wall over here, right? On the inside of the wall. But the outside of the wall, we need to have some fortifications against all of the pillagers, illagers, zombies, and spiders that might be coming along the way. Get out of here, spider. To try to stop us. We're not going to let them stop us. No, we won't stop. I thought I told you that. We won't stop, right? I already showed you the villager breeding area that I have here. This guy right here. But I'm not going to use him or start using him until I actually get the trading spaces in place. And what I want to do is have probably tools and armor along that wall. And then I'll do some farmers and such along that wall. And then we'll do the librarians and such along this far wall over here, where Xiphus is currently battling a spider. If I sneak inside real fast so they can't get me. As you can see, we have opted to go with a 2-door system. So we have like this decompression zone here before people actually go into the village. And the iron column has made it all the way. He's been climbing up and down along that stable for a while now. I was wondering when this, if he was ever going to find his way over there. And he did it. He found his way over and he is now outside and patrolling the outside of the area here. So, man, oh man, that's funny. All right, so I've got to get to work on coming up with a design concept for the stalls I'm going to have. And I think I'm going to go back, taking it all back to my original amusement park land that I was kind of working on before, where I had the deep sea pearl divers, if you remember that one. If not, you can check out the link to that playlist if you want to check that out. But we'll use the same technology we used to create that villager trading hall to do it here, and we'll just have them go up and along the walls here and over to here, right? And then we'll populate the we'll see if we have enough time to populate that. But that's what we're working on. Let's get this Bizaar built, right? All right, getting to it. Well, doesn't look like I have quite enough. That's okay. I need to make a run back to the main village. All right, so what we've done is we've completed the wall around the outside. We have a little bit of discrepancy in the spacing, but that's okay. We decided to leave the corners blank. There'll be like storage facilities and whatnot. And we've decided that what we're going to do is send the baby villagers all the way around to the edge and put them one by one into position with minecarts, and then we'll remove the minecart and rail behind them as we slowly progress backwards along this way. And we've decided that we're going to divide them up in the following sections. Well, let me show you what we're going to do here. We're going to have a couple of banners hanging down from these guys, so it looks like a Bizaar stall, and then we're going to put some carpets across the top, which may necessitate some string. Or maybe I could continue with these pergola type beams here coming across the top also. We'll see. Or maybe we leave like some of these open otherwise. But we're going to have banners hanging down from here and here. Maybe here in the middle also. And that'll just be too high. And then you can see the guys in there and you can approach them. And you can see like this guy's going to be a weaponsmith. And actually, or an armorsmith. And we've decided that these last three stalls are going to be armor because we want to be able to mix and match and combine them as we see fit when we need to, right? The anvil that's in there is for decorative purposes, so we'll have an armorsmith here, an armorsmith here and an armorsmith there, decorative block there, but we'll have some place where you could actually combine everything, like centrally located over here. Torches are in place for now, but I'm thinking that once we get everybody moved over here, this block obviously is going to have to come up in order to get the people into position, and so is this anvil, now that I think about it. For now, this is kind of a look at what it's going to look like. So they'll come back, and this should prevent them from jumping over this way. This should prevent them from jumping over this way. There's no way for them to get through here. So they should just be hanging out there, and those blocks will set their trades. And we'll be able to, from the side, even, this... Where'd my pick go? There it is. Boom. So I can pull this up, get this light torch out of the way for now. While they're standing in there, I'll be able to reach in there and pop it and pull it out, or go onto the other side of the wall and do it, or come in from the side. There's plenty of ways to do it as we're loading them in. So as we load them in, we're going to put them in these positions. We're going to have banners hanging down. The banners will probably be color-coded to represent what they're all about, right? And yeah, we're going to have the decorative blocks inside there for all of the guys. So what we've decided to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 armorers, 2 pickaxes, or 2 axes, excuse me, so that if we get one that's like super good and one that's super good a different way, we can combine them, right? Same thing for a pick, one will definitely we'll do one that's going to be, well, if they both have mending, that's fine. But we'll want one, I don't think, do they come with mending? They might. But if we get one with mending, that's awesome. If we get one with like efficiency 4, efficiency 5, that's awesome. We're basically going to be picking and choosing, but not too many. We're going to have them we're going to try to pick and choose them to this as best as we can, but we're limiting ourselves, right? So we're going to have the armor bits so that everybody's got different armor that they can choose from, and then we're going to have the tool pit bits here, and yes, we're aware that we're going to have to open up some trades, but then that locks them, so it's like, what is the first one going to be? So it's going to be, what is the big first one going to be, is going to be the key for these guys, so, that kind of is what it is. And then a weaponsmith here, so, we'll have 2 swords. So if one is super good one way, like I said, and one the other way, then we can combine them. This whole row is going to be librarians, and we'll pick and choose how we're going to do the librarians. We're going to have a couple cartographers also, right, alongside each side. These will eventually be removed because it's going to be a doorway out, right, and leading into the temple. This also more librarians. Over here, we've decided we're going to go with a couple leather workers just because. We're going to go with a couple butchers just because. We're going to go with a couple Fletchers because Fletchers and fishermen kind of exchange string for emeralds. So this will be the place to come and trade your string in. And then 4 farmers over here. 4 farmers are usually pretty good. For getting all your carrots and potatoes and watermelons and pumpkins all traded back and forth. You probably only need a couple of them, right? So 4 of them should be overkill, we hope. And over here, we're going to have it so that you can see the new producers of goods come out here, and then we'll drop them into a minecart. I'll get a powered minecart for that, put a button right here, and then those guys will be sent along their way, right? So that's the plan so far. Let me go ahead and go get some more rail in place, and should I start building these things? Maybe it's time to think about bringing in some of the villagers. Alright, so here we are. I've expanded it out just a little bit. We've decided to use some color coding. We're going to use some red for the weaponsmith, and we're going to use purple for tools, and we're going to use blue over here for, the armor, so that way we'll have red and blue make purple, and then we'll probably have, I don't know, we can't do yellow and blue again, make green, but we can do something. We'll figure something out. I started putting in all of the chests that are going to go in where you see these dirt blocks, but then decided, hey, that's not a good idea because I need to set their trade. So I'm going to use one for the first guy, take it out, put a dirt block there so he doesn't go scooching around. You know, even though I guess I could just put a water stream and force him back out this way, and just keep coming back one by one until all of the armor guys are made, and then I'll put on all the armor blocks, and that'll be pretty simple by just like clicking on this and holding down the other button as you're about to do that, right? So that way it'll replace it super quickly. What happened to my dirt blocks? Oh, I had a whole bunch of them there. So over here, I've taken the liberty of moving our first villager into the carrot farm, right? And here we go. I've already taken the dirt path out. I put in that farmer. At first, he was coming over here and looking at the distant village, and I panicked, and I'm thinking, do the same villager mechanics apply? The dead zone that goes from 33 blocks to 64 blocks, you know? We've talked about that in the past when I was building the Community Cultural Complex Center. But the way village mechanics work now, I would have thought that the village center would have been different, and also there's beds over here, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Plus, things are going on inside voice and chat there. As you can see, the rest of the community is starting to show up, and we're getting some things done over here. I decided to put a trim just around the upper edge, but I'm going to leave it open air because we're in the desert, and even though you can probably tell it's raining elsewhere, it's not raining here, and I don't believe we can get lightning strikes here, thus causing this guy to turn into a witch. But if that were to happen, hopefully we'll have enough villagers by then that'll be okay. This one is set up for a water stream. I'm going to get them over here and then water stream them into this little pitfall here. I think that'll be the easier way, and then we'll just close the door behind them, you know. I'm not sure if these villagers need to be without a profession, or if this guy is, you know, locked to his bed over there. He has a bed over there, so I'm wondering if he's going to try to go to sleep or if he's just waiting for the crops to come up. So we're kind of waiting to see what happens with the crops. And then we'll go from there. If I need to, what I'll end up doing is just breeding a bunch of babies over there, bringing a baby over here, he'll turn into a villager, and bringing 2 babies over here until they turn into untyped villagers, villagers without jobs. And then we'll drop them in right into there, and then we'll get the machine going, the mechanism going, before we start getting all the villagers moved around to where we need to go. All right, so I have people wanting to talk to me. Oh, look at that. That's a nice little bush that Buttle made. She made a bush. Oh, so she used a pot and a dead stick and a leaf block to make a bush. That looks pretty cool. Pretty cool. So we might have to do a couple of those. Sounds like somebody's running around the server destroying resources, so I'm going to have a chit-chat with them in just a second. But for now, that's where we're at. We're updating. I'm going to hold off on bringing the other 2 villagers over here until I see if this guy farms something up, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'll be back in just a few moments. Okay, well, we've got some good news and we've got some bad news, and that's okay. The good news is he is harvesting and using his little tool chest there. The bad news is, because he had wheat in his inventory, he is starting to plant wheat. So this guy needs to go back to the village, and I need to breed up a regular, and that's okay. I'll lay down a whole bunch of beds, and we'll get some villagers to breed up, and I'll make a baby, and I'll bring the baby over here. But because I just want carrots in here. I just want carrots. Wheat will mess up the process. It'll slow things down. As you can see, he's not picking up all the carrots. So I'm going to go back in here, rebreed a 1 guy, and that, you know, kind of indicates to me, well, maybe not. Maybe I can drop him over here. Actually, he would pick things up until he was full, and then he would try to breed with the person next to him. So maybe I bring him over here and drop him in, and I don't know if I want to do that. I don't want to do that because he might be set to I think I'm just going to bring 3 brand new villagers over here just to make sure, and we'll go from there. All right, but this guy definitely needs to come up because the wheat, no, that's a no-go. No-go on the wheat. Sorry, buddy. We got to get you out of here. All right, let me get him out of here and get some new villager in here. All right, as you can see, I've got a fresh little baby-faced villager in here ready to go. He's already looking over here like he wants to become a farmer as soon as this happens. I removed everything just to get everything out of the way, plus it had all grown up anyways. Matured, I guess is the word I'm looking for vegetation. And it was ready to be harvested, so I harvested it, right? Replanted and put some more down there, which we'll be using for the breeding process later, except for the one that's just underneath and sharing the same hitbox as the boat, which we will deal with later on, right? Alright, so we got this guy moved over here. We can get rid of all of these things. We're going to leave the other path in place because we're still working on things. F3 and B to get rid of that hitbox real fast. Hold on. Alright, so we've converted golden buddles dorm room into a breeding area. Pardon me, Iron Golem. I hope you don't mind if I come through here real fast. Bang. So we've converted this into a little breeding area for now. Hopefully we'll get another couple villager babies here in just a minute, and then we'll be able... There's one right there. So we'll be able to get this guy out in just a second. Let me go ahead and... Do I have boats? I don't. Alright, so let me get a couple more boats, and we'll get this guy captured, and we'll take him... Captured. Put into a boat, and then we'll move him over there. And then we'll get the next one, which is about to be bred up and moved over there, because there's plenty of beds for him. And then we'll just make this the breeding dormitory that Buttle wants it to be. So we'll change this into a building very much like this one over here, and they'll each have their own little rooms and things like that. So, and additional decorations. It'll look good. But let me go ahead and get these other two little baby villagers, this one plus one that's about to be created, over there and in place. And not necessarily drop down into the place that needs to be, but we need to wait for them to grow up before that happens, and then we'll go from there. Alright, let me get those in place, and then we'll see how it looks. Okay, as you can see, we've got a couple other baby villagers over here. No professionless villagers hanging out over here. This guy is still growing. By the time I got that boat down, got a boat, and got this one over here, another one had been created, so we've brought them on over here. We're just waiting the obligatory 20 minutes for them to grow up, and then we're going to funnel them down into there for the process to begin. I should move this guy over here while I'm thinking about it, and then no, I'm gonna wait until he grows up before I put in that glass over there. So that will be completed, this will be completed, then once I get these guys in there, I'll be able to tear down all this dirt, and this will be completed. Let me drop into the water. Didn't quite make it. Okay, now the original Impulse design, that's whom I saw it. Impulse might have somebody else that he was using it from, but the original design called for half slabs here instead of trapdoors. But it's my hope, and I know hope isn't a business model, it is my hope that this will get the job done. And if it doesn't, then we'll just, have one guy wandering around. I'm sure we'll be able to funnel them where we need to get them funneled, and then we'll put the half slabs in there. But for now, this thing is going to be like this, and I need to put some more glass here so that, this will be the indicator of what's going on, right? Boom. And maybe I could have just had, I don't know. So I like to be able to see the guys. So we'll have this one little section in this, and then once they're over here, again, we'll be able to put down minecarts, and then off they'll go as soon as we put in a button there, which we'll get to when we get to, right? Maybe I should get a minecart first. Oh, but while I'm thinking about it, we went ahead and decided on the color palette for what we're going to do. We're going to have farmers as blue or green and yellow, and we've got 2 fishers, so there's going to be 4 farmers in here. Yellow and green makes sense for farmers, Blue makes sense for fishers because they're going to be out in the water. We went with white for fletchers because of the feathers for arrows and such, right? And butchers are going to be pink because meat is pink. Leather workers are going to be brown because leather is brown. And then all of the librarians are going to be multiple colors. So we've got a whole variety of color palette over here. We've switched some things around. Don't want to fall into this. Over here, we're going to go again. We're going to keep the weapons as red. We're going to do some tools as purple over here. And then we're going to do armor and armorers as palettes of gray and blue, right? So basically, we kind of lost track of where we were going to go with our colors. There's some semblance to it, but really it's just about having a bazaar out here that's going to look pretty cool, And we're going to start over here and then kind of build back around. So we'll come back to the block palettes we're going to need for certain blocks later. Back here, we'll figure something out for back here later. Also, we'll be putting in the lanterns as we put in the blocks in between everything on the edges, which might also get the trapdoor treatment. Not quite certain yet. No, they won't get the trapdoor treatment because we need to put the lanterns there. And because we're using fence gates up here, we can't hang them from the fence post above. But I kind of like this better because if it was fence post, it would link up kind of weird. This kind of makes it look a little bit more solid, and it actually kind of abuts the thing instead of having like a post in the middle and then another bar. So I like the way that looks better. Golden Buttle is over here creating 2 giant fountains. That was her verbiage. Giant fountains is what she wants to do. So she's working on that. She's already built in here this statue. She's decorated the area. Look at that. He looks like he's guarding things. Decorated the area in here, you know, and we put some potted plants in, dead bushes, or a clay pot, the dead bushes out there that turn into sticks if you harvest them normally, and then bushes on top of them so they look like plants, you know. Looks pretty cool. Stalkers in here running around doing things. We got some, you know, stone, or not stone, but what's the word? Sandstone walls back here to kind of give us some depth and stuff. He's checking things out. He's looking at things too. He wants some camera time, I guess is what's up with that. Oh, now right when he stops, he stops. So I think she decorated this pretty nicely. You know, there's still an upper section. So let me go see what's going on up here. Are you searching for someone? No, I'm showcasing the area, man. Giving it a good look around. So you can see the statue from up here. So maybe she has some plans for up here. Maybe she builds a beacon up here, and then, you know, that might actually be a good idea. We could do that. We could build a beacon right in here. This would fill it up, and then we can, I don't know, cap this thing off so that this thing would fill up. I'll have to ask him about that, but that also means that we'll have to get 3 Wither Skull heads, which are going to be a little bit difficult to do. We are aware of 1 Nether Keep, but we haven't actually converted anything yet, so it would just be, it wouldn't happen as fast as the Nether Skull, or the Wither Skull farm, Wither Skeleton farm that I built on the updated aquatic server, but it'll get there. But I can't wait. This fountain's going to be done pretty soon. We're all coming together and working on this project collectively now and getting stuff done. So let me go ahead and get these villagers all growed up and start trying to fill in these stalls at the bazaar. All right, my friends. As you can see, I've got my 2 villagers now in position. I saved you the egg, and they're sleeping right where I want them to sleep. Now we will check and see if they wake up where I want them to wake up, right? Let the sun go down, please. And look, man, that is awesome. Okay, so those guys are in position. They're doing their thing. This guy is in here. He looks like he wants to come over here, so every now and again he'll come over here and try to lay down. But these guys, since there's no blocks around them, theoretically, that they can get out of, they should pop right back into where they just got up. So let's see how that goes. Oh, my shovel. All right. Jumping on your face. Sorry, gang. Ooh, almost moved him off the bed. I don't want to do that. All right, so these guys are here. This guy over here. Awesome. Awesome. Also, look at Golden Buttle. She's made these 2 fountains. The fountains are looking pretty good. One over here is already filled in. The one over here needs to be filled in next. She's working on that as we speak. So, no, he got out of the bed in a direction I did not want him to get out of. All right, so I got to do some work here. All right, so I got to figure out how to get this guy working correctly. He's probably jumped out because I pushed him out. I don't know. Let's see. Let me go ahead and push him back over there, and hopefully I can re-secure him. Oh, that's a bummer. That is a bummer. Come on, guy. Come on, guy. There you go. Right back in you go. All right. Let's get these things out of the way. He looks like he's nestled in there pretty good. He's nestled in there pretty good. So what should I do? Should I put some glass around the edge of it so that they don't get up? Oh, this guy did it too. Oh no. All right, so I guess we enclose the whole thing then. You know, we enclose the whole thing so that they can only get in and get out that way. But this guy, he needs to get up there somehow. So how am I going to get him up there? I could float him up there. I could float him up there and then push him over. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm going to get this figured out, but I'm going to do that off camera because that is all the time I have for today. Next time we'll come back. We'll make sure this guy's there. We'll use the villager breeder and get everything going along the way here and fill in this stuff and maybe work on a hedge mage. We'll see. But that's all I'm going to do for today. We'll get this figured out. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again real soon.